Welcome to Kerr 9000's Horror House.
Friday the 13th is a 1980 American slasher film, produced and directed by Sean S. Cunningham. And the plot follows a group of teenage camp counselors who are murdered one by one by an unknown killer, while they're attempting to reopen an abandoned summer camp, Camp Crystal Lake. This film was basically prompted by the success of John Carpenter's Halloween. The film, to me, is a stone-cold classic. It is exactly what you'd expect in a slasher film. Person going missing, dying, one after another. And basically you wonder who's going to survive and who is doing the killing. And this is a film that launched a massive franchise. Not only films, but comics, memorabilia. And this film's the start of it all. It's also got a rather young Kevin Bacon in it, which is something worth watching out for. The weird thing is, this film obviously is pretty old now, and I am sure most people will know what happens down to the every detail, but I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to spoil it on the off chance somebody hasn't seen it. But I will say, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's like one of the absolute pinnacles of the genre. And it has some brilliant special effects in it. They are practical effects, as obviously they would be from this time. And it's one of those films where it's worth watching the documentaries because they're done through a lot of clever trickery, really. I also think that you have to pay special attention to the music in this film. It's at times very basic, but it's really unique and different. There's a theme often in it where there's these sounds that make basic music on their own. It's which was made by parts of words being said and then it being put through an echo reverb machine, and this being like linked together to make a sort of backing track, which I think is rather interesting. It works really well for the film. But overall, I absolutely love this film, and I would score it very highly. It's one of those 80s films which I think has only sort of grown and grown as time's gone on. The effects, like I said, done by Tom Savini, look brilliant. They look better than stuff you get now because they're practical effects, which always age very well. The soundtrack has aged well, and I think the acting in it is pretty darn good for a film of this type. And it's the start of a series that I really, really do like. Okay, on ending this, I'd like to thank my missus for providing the slight musical accompaniment in the middle, and I'd like to say, keep watching those scary movies, boys and ghouls.
You didn't tell me.